call the meeting to order. First order of business would be the minutes. We're not prepared, so we'll go to the bills. We'll do the minutes at our next meeting. The bills list and additional bills list. Now you'll notice on the regular bills list, there's two large appropriations to the Lincoln Trail Health Department, total of $360,000. That represents 6 months allocation to the health department. Those were two great big bills. We usually get those, we pay those when the taxes come in.
Is that why you wait and pay both of them together?
Yeah, because it's technically due the first quarter, but the first quarter, most of the counties wait till they get their tax money in, usually about a month later. But back when interest was good and you were getting drawn 3 or 4% interest at the bank, it was really good to keep it as long as you could. Now it doesn't matter a whole lot. And notice that there's payouts to the fall cleanup program, quite a few of those. And let's see if there's any others. Any questions on the bills list?
The one on the $15,000 for the public risk claim service.
That was to the attorneys that our insurance company represented in a lawsuit with an arrest at the sheriff's department, Fulkerson case. You guys were made aware of that about a year ago, 8 months ago.
I remember.
Defended us. That's a law enforcement. You have a $15,000 deductible.
Solid waste, record run, $800, is that what they're going to?
That was to Georgetown. That was truck 414 to the international dealer up there. Engine issues, yeah. It's normally if it's around town, it's normally around $300.
That's what I was thinking. I was going, why is that $800? It must be turned upside down and 15 different pieces would be $800.
Entertain a motion to approve the bills and transfers.
Motion to pay the bills and transfers as presented.
Thank you, Bernard. Second by Jerry Hahn. Any further discussion?
One.
Okay. Discussion.
I noticed at the landfill, we put a transmission in a 2001 Chevy. Was it worth putting a transmission in?
I done asked that question 3 times.
It's a 3/4 ton, 4-wheel drive.
Just a truck we bounced around in.
I mean, I'm
It's a
sitting
good
there
truck.
basing, if we put it down here in front of the road department for sale, would it bring $1,500?
Well,
Which
don't
one?
think of it that way, think
What
about
is it?
what's the cost of replacing.
It wasn't good for us.
Would I buy that for $1,500? Yes, I would.
Okay.
It's needed, I guess, in the landfill. It's a good 4-wheel drive truck that we use.
We had these, John, please tell them we had these same discussions.
All right.
We can surplus and I'll buy it right now for $1,500.
All approved, say aye. Aye. Disapprove? The motion will carry. Same discussions. Next would be second reading and adoption of industrial revenue bonds ordinances for first Lux Cold Distillery. Entertain a motion to approve on second reading and adoption for Lux Cold. Motion by Jeff.
I'll second.
Second by Sam. All approved, say aye.
Aye.
Disapprove? Motion will carry. Next would be the second reading and adoption of the ordinance in regards to Heaven Hill Distillery. Entertain a motion to approve on second reading and adoption.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Keith Metcalf, second by Sam. All approved, say aye.
Aye.
Disapprove? The motion will carry. Thank you all. Board appointments. Board appointments, we have a joint city-county ethics board appointment. Austin Weller has agreed to continue to serve. Thank you, Austin. And that's a joint between the city and the county. Entertain a motion to approve.
Make a motion.
Motion by Terry Hahn, second by Jeff. All approved, say aye.
Aye.
Disapprove? Motion carry. I'll have several other appointments that are going to come due in December, January, and February, so you'll be seeing those come through. I thought I would have some of those ready, but I need to individually talk to the folks to make sure we're all still on the same page. Next would be the sheriff's bond for repayment of advancements. You have that in front of you here. I think we made a copy of that for you. Also, we also will want to approve that, and also the last court meeting we approved an advancement for the sheriff, and it should be $400,000. I think sheriff, we initially said it used to be 350 or so,
Well, the previous year was 360,
360.
but
Okay.
it cut it a little short.
So we need to approve the advancement bond, $400,000, and make sure the minutes reflect that link from the advancement
That's what and the bond.
and the bond. Yeah. Motion to approve. Thank you, Bernard.
I'll second.
Second by Keith Metcalf. All approved, say aye. Disapprove? Motion will carry. Thank you all. Next would be a landfill solid waste report.
Our Thanksgiving schedule, garbage collection will be pushed back a day, so if it's Thursday, it'll be Friday, if it's Friday, it'll be Saturday. The free passes, they'll be sent out in December's billing for the free passes to the landfill, so take a look for those and don't throw those away. A quick update on Samuel's Hall, after the Feed America program, that's tomorrow, I believe, so then they'll be able to epoxy coat the floor and do the paving in the back, but it's getting wrapped up and hopefully within the next month it'll get
Okay,
back together. That's all I had.
thank you. Jail report, Dorcas.
Okay, today we have a total of 158 inmates. We have 4 in Hardin County, 1 on home incarceration. We have 64 state inmates. We have 6 serving weekends. We have 7 that's out of court in other counties. So we have an in-house total of 140. So for October on controlled intake, we average 39 a day. Class Bs, we average 23 a day. Nelson County inmates, we averaged 116 a day, so it was a total average for October of 179 inmates a day. New arrests and releases for October, we had 158 males, there's new arrests, 52 females, so it was a total of 210. We released 153 males, 55 females, so it was a total of 280. We have 6 that we sentenced out of the district court, 5 serving weekends. We have 14 that's waiting for court, 1 on home incarceration, 2 on work release. We don't have any district on community service. We have 39 controlled intake, 25 Class Bs. In circuit court, we have 6 that's on community service. Work release, we have 1. Sentenced out of circuit court to jail, we have 1. We have 2 that are sentenced out of drug court. So we have 58 out of circuit court that's waiting to go to court, or waiting to be sentenced. So we have 72 inmates total that has not been sentenced. And still trying to find state bids to ship some of the state inmates, so it's hard right now.
Yes, it is. Actually, Dorcas, I was able to talk to the Oldham County jail who told me that they were building a new jail.
Yes.
And Mike Simpson says
Mike
that?
Simpson.
Mike Simpson. Very helpful. They're getting ready to open a new jail. Been under construction for a pretty good while. Their base amount was $15.8 million. When it's all paid, said interest and all, it'll be about $21 million over the term of the bonds. They're going to initially house 332 inmates, but they have built a jail with the cafeteria and the library and all the other support, where eventually they'll hold 500 prisoners. They'll add another phase to it somewhere down the road. And that will make it easier for them to do. But in looking at their budget, they keep a lot of federal prisoners, a lot of state prisoners.
Exactly.
Less than 30% of the population in that jail are their own inmates.
They have very few counties.
Very few county inmates, yeah. So I'm going to continue to research and find out from other counties what's going on. And like the judge told me in Oldham County yesterday when I talked to him, they're banking on state and federal prisoners continue to come to them. I'm not so sure that we want to be in that business. I don't know, that's something for the court will decide down the road. So when you divide that out, it's about $260 a square foot on the base price to build a jail.
What's the term of the bond?
One of their bonds are 13 years and one's 20 years. That divided in 2 different segments. 20 years, you usually count, most of them will be 20 years probably.
Aren't they the richest county in Kentucky?
I don't know if they're the richest, but they're up there in the top tier.
How would it compare with a rehab facility,
Price-wise? Yeah. Operations-wise?
operations-wise?
I'd say And that, no, by the way, that does not include, that's just your base
I know.
capital cost.
I know.
Their
It doesn't
budget's
include the staff.
$3.3 million.
A
Their
year.
budget, yeah, 3.3 million. The general fund subsidizes them about $550,000 on the budget. He said some years they'll have to go to 700, 800,000. This year he's budgeted at 550, 535, I think's what it was. Yeah, good point, Sam. I don't know, we have to look at that and see.
Could Lincoln Trail come up with a guesstimate on that?
On what's that?
Like a rehab facility, the cost of, say, a rehab facility? They ought to have some numbers on that, wouldn't you think?
Communicare would have a little more, they're more into that than anybody would be. It's something to look at, that's for sure. But one or two laws can change, guys. If you,
Yeah.
let me just tell
Be
you,
empty.
I'll go back, when Dorcas provided me some information, 2010, our daily average population was 133. Okay, 5 years later, at 2015, our inmate population average was 123, 10 less. And then 2016 is 138. Now, we're going to we'll get the end of the year report here shortly, another month and a half or so, see where we are to date. The spike has been in the last 6 months or so, 7 months. But we'll see. But all that's just conversation.
What, on your report here, you have an in-house total of 140, and then you have a daily average of 179. What do those numbers mean?
Okay, what we have today is a total of 140, but now on the daily average, you take how many days they have been there. Like for October, you'll take the amount of days, inmate days you've had, and you divide that by 31, that averages your daily populations.
How many people are staying in the jail at night is what I'm asking.
You got more in at night because you got your work release in. I'd say probably, these are done in the morning, the counts. So your work release is not there. The weekenders are not there until the weekend. The ones that are out to court are not there until they come back. So if they were all there today, we would have, where do you take 6? You'd have 18 more on the.
18 more, yeah.
18 more.
We would have 158 if they were all there right now.
Typically 120 to 25 is manageable. We've done that for years.
Yes.
But when you get above that, that's when it comes to work.
And I mean, DLC's been very good with the jails because we all of those are crowded, even the prisons are. And I think DLC has signed a contract with the adjustment, but that's 800 beds, it's not relieve the pressures in,
And Natalie Joe, that's in Oldham County,
Yeah,
and he was talking about that yesterday.
and the thing of it is, Cedar Range is moving some out because they're having to remodel and build there, so they got to move inmates out, so.
Go back to 2010, Marion County, which is, their jail's been self-supporting for years. 2010-11, the fiscal court had to come in and subsidize them because the population was down quite a bit. So banking on the jail business is not a good business to a degree.
What was it, Fulton County almost bankrupted the county building a new jail based on the state prisoners?
And the state guides you through that.
Didn't get
Yeah,
it.
the state guides you through that, and then they felt like they got dumped on by the state.
Wasn't there a couple jails somewhere that started and they're not finished?
I don't know yet. I mean, I just started digging on that, I'm sure. Department of Corrections will give us some oversight.
I've got another question for you, Dorcas. How many of these 140 are rehabitable? I mean, just a guess. I'm not.
Or drug related.
Well, I mean, where they wouldn't have to have a police officer or somebody, whatever your high rank sergeant to be in charge of.
Well, you take, out of this 140, you've got 70, what was it, 70 some waiting out of circuit court to go to court. They haven't even been sentenced or anything. You got 72 is waiting to go to circuit court. Of course, district court, we have district today, some of those may get out, some of them may not. I would say probably maybe 20 at the most,
20.
because what we've got are not all sentenced.
I'm just talking about the offense that they've got.
The
Is it
offense,
child support, is it drugs, is
Most
it
of it's drugs,
most of the stuff?
or failure to appear, or contempt of court, you know, just those charges are
But
basic.
then if you look at
We
their
have very
record,
few that are, you know, child support, very few. Most-
And there's a term a fellow used one day in front of me called catch and release program. And that means they've been caught before and they release them, they've been caught again and release them again. And I heard a fellow tell me that one time. I don't remember calling his names.
Well, the,
Oh, he spoke up. He spoke up.
the court system itself's already working with you to try to lessen that population.
Yes, they are, oh, yeah.
it don't seem like it's working though. I mean,
I-
we're getting more and more in there all the time.
Yeah, they can-
My argument is if they had to do the time that was prescribed by the legislature, you wouldn't be able to build enough jails.
And I mean,
I
as far
agree.
as the
I agree.
rehab, that's a great idea, but we have them now to go to rehab and they walk off before they even, I mean. when they-
Correct me if I'm wrong, but the judges that we have here, they make every effort to get them into the rehab centers.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
We've been over backwards.
Yeah, so, you know,
And Judge Sims, he does a fantastic.
so everybody, I mean, these people, the judges out here are not looking to put people in jail. They want these young men and women to get clean and better. So,
And I would invite any of you to come down on any given Tuesday afternoon and just watch a jail docket. I mean, you just sit in the courtroom and just watch what comes up, and you ask about how many people are
Right.
eligible to rehabilitate, and it's not for want of trying, but you let them out on a possession charge to go to rehab or whatever, and then 4 or 5 days later, you find them on a theft charge, where they didn't go to rehab and they're back in. And you beat your head against the wall.
Well, did the rocket docket that we approved, did it help this at all, or how can you put a pencil on it, or is it just out there in cyberspace somewhere we're thinking?
No, I think it has certainly helped in terms of getting the people from point A, off the county's dime into, their ultimate probation. The problem is if those people, once they go through rocket dockets, reoffend.
They come right back in the market.
The revolving door.
Yeah.
Yeah, we see that all the
See
time.
that-
I mean,
see
we
them.
got one out on Friday.
We arrest them one day, and a week later, we're dealing with the same person on a different charge.
Yeah, I mean, they've been rocket docketed through and they're out, you hope that they're going to, rehab, but if they don't, then there you are.
we'll keep having these discussions.
It's
$10 million
Thank you.
hotel.
But we do jail docket every Tuesday at 1:30, so if you want to come down and just kind of get a flavor of it.
Love to see my name on
Well, most of the time it's Tuesdays and Fridays.
Yeah, Friday, yeah, we do 2 a week, I mean, Friday, they do it on Friday too.
When our circuit court, there's no telling how many they would transport up to circuit court, because they don't do the video. The sheriff's taking them back and forth to court. I mean, any given time, I'd say what, 25?
We're
in the morning?
moving on Thursdays that we're moving half the jail
Yeah.
to the courthouse and back down every week.
Would it not be more efficient, or I don't know if you can, to do that with a camera?
Hey, you gotta prove that new internet line that's coming to town.
Now,
Hey, Sheriff, what did you want to bring that up today?
Sam, there are certain stages of the proceeding that you do that, like on Tuesdays at 1:30, that everybody's on camera. But then once they get to circuit court, and there are other, you're up on and when you talk to their attorney.
You gotta
or
be
whatever,
face to face.
it's gotta be face to face, yeah. So we do as much as we can.
They do as much as you can, yeah. I've seen it in action.
Is that a long face-to-face?
Sheriff got you over there.
Yeah, always dig it, thank you.
EMS report, Joe couldn't be here today, so we'll go on to the recreation report.
All the programs are done for the year. I've started winterizing everything. I got baseball and soccer winterized. I'm gonna winterize the football building today. Besides that, everything's kind of wrapped up for the year. Just kind of helping out where we need to be.
I need to thank Tyler and Mark for picking up a load of old mattresses down under the 49 bridge this past week. Did a good job.
Yesterday.
On your off days, you wear a lot of hats now, don't you?
I hang Christmas banners in New Haven. I pick up trash and I do Christmas parties.
It was a nasty
That's
project.
good,
I can tell
that's
you.
good, I like that.
All other
I don't think Kroger did all that,
Last
to be honest
page.
with you.
Coke in his younger days,
He
drove a
may
truck.
have.
He drove a
Picked it
truck.
up a couple times.
He drove a truck.
Uh,
Road
Yeah.
department report, let's move on before Tyler gets in trouble.
All right. Boom on, we're slowly and surely getting caught up. Moffitt Mill, Spalding, Prairie City Streets, 3rd South, 4th, Bloomfield Pike, Whiteman Road, Wilson Park was all done for the city. We help them out every year. We helped Bloomfield out actually, when those guys asked. We hit Gilkey Run, Spencer Mangley, Garrison, we're on Hagen right now, Jerry. They're gonna do a water line down there, so we're trying to push that back. It's pretty woolen. There's a couple more in your district, and I've talked to all of you about this. I'm gonna jump around a lot now, and I'll get what I can. Yes, we've all talked, and yes, you all get some. So, we'll continue to go forward. We're ready for snow. We got 3 trucks already ready. I just need to get with the contract grader guys and pin them down on their pricing like we always do. Grader crew, we're done chip sealing and paving. I told you all we put the paver up last time. Chip sealing, we're done. It's just, it's cold. And that oil gets hard to deal with that way. So for the year, we did Ginseng, Hutchins Court, Simon Greenwell, Petersburg, and Ladane. And Keith and I discussed, we had to go back on Simon Greenwell. It was a little too much rock, we think. We're not for sure. So we had to sweep it. I think we've done that in the past on some roads. Took burnt, looked at Petersburg, I think that turned out. Jeff, I think Ladane, is that in your district?
That's the Jerry's district.
Jerry's?
Right there on.
Yeah.
Hey, congratulations, Jerry. We're gonna have to do some work on that one next year. So I'll get with you on that and discuss that.
We're on top of
We
it.
Band-Aided it and it'll hold till spring, I think, and then we'll do some work on it.
Still, heavy equipment goes back through there.
It's a county road, so it's our baby.
I know.
So, we're rock shouldering, we did Gibbs Lane, Jeff, finally re-ditched the ditch behind the road department. Guess what, it didn't flood. You know, the one that always, every time it come to rain, we always had that issue, so we'll keep our fingers crossed on that. Did a bunch of culverts, Keith Knob Gates, Cooney Neck Campground, Russell, Beatsfield Loop, Ladane, and he did. They're all entrance culverts, I'm assuming people trying to get them in with the weather gets here. And that's really it.
Cold mix, Brad, if you want to order that?
Cold mix I need to order, we got some left over from last year, and it's time to get rid of. When I say get rid of it, guys, what we do is roads that really need what we'll call heavy shouldering, we'll use what's left over, or the chips, or cold mix, and get some new in. Yeah, I gotta order that in. And I'll give Tyler props, guys, he's really stepped in and helped me out in the business of what we do. So, he has blinked an eye, and
It's a learning curve.
he's really helped out in Kroger's absence so far.
Right, the state's got a couple of big projects out there. They still pay?
They were paving last week on, which is so shocking, they were paving up in Jerry's district last
They were
week.
there yesterday.
What's the rule of thumb, 40 and rising?
40 and rising, November 15th. That's your 2 rule of thumbs. Now, 40 and rising is the true rule. Now, Dean and I discussed, and I sent an email to Mike Rogers, told him we're done. Save ours to next year.
That was about a couple weeks ago.
They were paving yesterday, somewhere out in Bloomfield direction.
See,
I can tell you the place.
Lewisburg Road,
Okay.
going
We,
towards the Anderson County line.
When we
I
were
was
doing
up there
our
yesterday.
chip sealing, the place we were getting it from the E-Town location, you know, we need to get from Louisville to E-Town. E-Town shut down. They're done. They're not making it anymore. So I'm assuming Mako's getting their stuff out of Louisville. I don't know how they're doing it. Don't know. I talked to Mike. He said it'd be like 10 o'clock in the morning before they can start paving to meet the rules for the state. So,
But they still got 49 for.
oh, they got 49's a mess. I hope they get up to it. And it really is a mess down through there by the Fogle Bridge. They did a great project. I don't know if you guys have seen it.
Yeah,
All
yes,
that rock
yes.
was falling down. So the rock that was falling down, they dug out and used it to build the shoulder. Great, good project. It's just the road's in rough shape. Or they,
I don't think there's any.
I don't think,
I would be shocked if they do as well. It needs it though.
I'm not so sure they even set up any blacktop money for it.
It was scheduled to be done from the Bluegrass Bridge to the River Bridge, is what it was scheduled for.
Well, they need to go on past, when
According
you call
to
it
you.
River Bridge, you call them Fogle. Fogle Bridge.
49 Bridge.
49.
Yeah, they need to go on up the other side of the hill too.
I think from the way he talked, it was from the Bluegrass down to the old Blue Bridge, the River
No,
Bridge.
they've no past that, they're all the way up to hill.
Really? He didn't mention that they were planning on.
It looks
doing
good
more
on
than
what
that.
they're doing.
Yeah.
It's just, it really does.
There's
Just
not
kind
gonna
of
be.
trail road up, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, that's a mess.
That's it, then.
So you're gonna go ahead and issue a purchase order for some cold mix?
Yeah, I have to get, usually what the state accepts bids,
Yeah.
and then they may go on what other ones bidded,
Yeah.
and I'll get you a purchase order when it comes in there.
So that's important, you can get through the winter months, potholes and so forth.
I made sure our salt's taken care of.
Yes, you did.
That was the main one first.
Okay, under old and new business, Christmas schedule, we will be, holiday will be closed Monday, the 25th, and Tuesday, the 26th. And then New Year's Day will be closed Monday, January the 1st. I think the only difference between us and the state is they're actually off 2 days for New Year's. And I think you're off Friday, the 4th.
Yes, that's going to be a really light week for work, so people need to do things early. And if you don't mind my interjection,
No, please.
we're also, the state's done some changes to the systems we're using, and those girls are in training or have to be trained for so it might be a bit of a slowdown there for us, so just, we need some patience.
I understand. Guys, you have anything you want to bring up? Court?
When's the parade?
Great,
Are we gonna
December
get
the
in?
7th. I've submitted mine. I didn't hear anything back from anybody else.
Any of y'all get me?
I was asking a guy about that last night.
November the 20th was the deadline of yesterday, so I suppose if you guys wanted to get in it, we could bunch up together.
I don't know if I want to ride down through town with you.
I was afraid I'd get shot for a
Well, that's what I was thinking, we probably ought to scatter out and make it less of a target.
Don't get a quorum together.
I didn't hear back, you keep the only guy I heard back from, so I didn't pursue it.
I'm still thinking about it.
See what I'm talking about?
I'd like to be anonymous.
This is an election year coming up next year.
Still like to be
guys.
anonymous.
No, you have nothing else? Anybody else in the audience have anything? Yes, sir, Chief.
Judge, I just want to invite you and the magistrates to our annual Christmas dinner, the 10th, am I correct on that? December 10th, at the Knights of Columbus Hall, like
Okay.
we had it last year, so I'd like to see all y'all there, you're more than welcome.
Appreciate it.
What time?
Cocktails at 6.
Would you send me an email and I'll forward to them?
Okay.
And you get to,
All right,
please.
yes, sir.
Entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion by Bernard Ice, second by Terry Hahn. All approved, say aye. Disapprove? Motion is carried. Thank you.